Good evening, happy winter solstice, and happy first day of winter break. For those of you that may have wrapped up your semester yesterday, we're here this evening to play a new version of Jeopardy! This one focused on Dr. Kwan's manual for the makerspace. We do have 5 categories this evening: definitions, reasons, hodgepodge, first steps, and finally space and contents. Let's go ahead and get started with definitions for 100, please. According to Rafi, Sverko, and Tarian, this is a constructivist and constructionist movement that is taking the world by storm. What is a makerspace? Yes, that is correct. And certainly it is learning through doing, learning through building, although as Dr. Kwan noted that this is a pretty broad and vague definition, so she delved a little further into that. Let's jump over to reasons for 100. Playing board games provides this type of learning experience. What is collaborative? Yes, that is correct. And children are not playing board games as much as they did when we were growing up. And this is just a really great opportunity for you to get them working in teams. Hodgepodge for 100, please. This AASL initiative includes 4 main standards for libraries: think, create, share, and grow. What is learning for life? That is correct. And as is noted in our manual, these 4 standards connect very well with a makerspace in your school library. Let's take first steps for 100, please. These popular building blocks were part of Dr. Kwan's initial attempt at a makerspace in her library. What are Legos? That is correct. And I have found that families often have a lot of extra Legos in their homes. And if you put an ask out to your parents, you might be able to get some Legos for free for your makerspace. And finally, I'll take space and contents for 100, please. Makerspace furniture should be this, allowing for multiple configurations. What is flexible? That is correct. So you want to have places where students can stand, where they can sit, where they can work independently, where they can do small group work, where they can collaborate and build. So lots of different options. Let's go back to definitions for 200, please. She defined a school makerspace as a place where young people have an opportunity to explore their own interests. Who is Laura Fleming? Yes, that is correct. I recently read an article about makerspaces, and it was discussing how makerspaces are really important for helping students to develop their own identities and self-agency. Let's do definitions for 300, please. They include fine arts, sciences, crafts, industrial technologies, foods, inventions, textiles, hobbies, service learning, digital media, upcycling, STEM/STEAM, DIY, and DIT. What are areas of investigation within a makerspace? Pretty close. I'll give that to you. What are the different areas makerspaces investigate? And as you can see, this a makerspace is really a cross-curricular learning experience for students. So an excellent thing to have within your school library. Let's do reasons for 200, please. Students experience this important lesson during the experimenting stage of making. What is learning from failures? That is correct. So when students are experimenting, they are going to propose potential solutions. They are going to follow through with creating those solutions, and sometimes their solution doesn't work. And that can be frustrating for students, but then they need to determine, why did this not work? And then they have another opportunity to try again. So great life skill for our students. Let's take reasons for 300, please. Makerspaces provide exceptional opportunities for students to engage with these current buzzword skills. Yes, what are 21st century learning skills? That is correct. So certainly all the buzz in the world of education right now. Dr. Kwan really focuses in on 4 C's, although there are others as well. Let's see what else we might come up with here. Let's try hodgepodge for 200, please. This is often the biggest classroom in the school building. What is the library? That is correct. And this is a great reason to host a makerspace in the library is because you typically have the largest space available. Let's try hodgepodge for 300, please. This maker designation is for people who need some help to start a makerspace. What is a beginner? I'm sorry, the correct answer is what is a learner? So this is someone who is perhaps a little bit hesitant, feeling rather nervous, and it's just an absolutely okay place to be. There are plenty of people out there who are willing to help you get going on your makerspace. Let's try definitions for 400, please. A makerspace can be either physical or this. What is virtual? That is correct. So many schools, well, most schools have a website, but many school libraries also have their own website or have a page dedicated within the school website. And this would be an excellent place to provide some virtual makerspace options for your students that they can do when they're outside of the library, either in their classroom or at home or traveling somewhere. Let's go to definitions for 500, please. This 4-step model for makerspace implementation and use includes using, tinkering, experimenting, and creating. What is the UTEC method? It's an acronym using the first letters of each of these 4 words, UTEC. All right, and definitions for 500, please. This 4-step model for oh, we already did that one. Oh, I forgot to give the answer. Sorry about that. You are correct. The answer is UTEC. All right, let's try first steps for 200, please. Dr. Kwan recommends not spending much of this when starting a makerspace, and the answer is money. That is correct. And she refers to not using much of your own personal money, much of the school money, that many things you can get for free. They are already lying around your school. They are lying around your home. So a great way to get started, low risk, high reward, is not spending too much money. Let's try first steps for 300, please. Surprisingly, students often prefer these makerspace options over high-tech ones. What is unplugged? Or as my students like to say, old school. That is correct. So we know our kids are they're digitally savvy, and they usually have all the digital time they need. And so many of them just really appreciate being unplugged and working with their hands on something. Let's take first steps for 400, please. Students often enjoy this type of makerspace activity where they try to make something the biggest, fastest, or tallest. What is a competition? Excellent. So really fun. You can have a competition within one class visit, or you could have a competition across a grade level or a school. And this is a really great way to get students engaged and excited for your makerspace. First steps for 500, please. This is the maker designation for people who dig through other people's recycling bins looking for treasures. What is a makerspace junkie? That is correct. Classroom teacher, I've been doing this for quite some time. Dumpster diving. No shame. All right, let's go to space and contents for 200, please. The maker's space must have plenty of these located nearby to keep everything juiced and ready to go. What is electrical outlets? That is correct. We would also accept charging stations. This is just a necessity. You really should have, even if you don't have a makerspace in your library, you should really have plenty of electrical outlets or charging stations for students to be able to keep their devices up and running. Let's try space and contents for 300, please. Careful consideration must be made to include this in the makerspace to ensure materials are organized and accessible. What is storage? That is correct. And I'm a neat freak, and this is one thing that I will definitely make sure I have early on in my planning and implementation is if once I get the materials, I need them stored in an organized fashion. So make sure you have space for that and the materials you need. Let's go back to reasons for 400, please. The addition of these two disciplines has helped bring STEM to life for even more learners. Yes, what are art and design? That is correct. So STEM, of course, is science, technology, engineering, and math. And in recent years, some people have been using the acronym STEAM because they've added art and design. And this has just opened up for even more cross-curricular learning and made STEM more accessible for some students who might not have been as engaged prior to that addition. Let's do reasons for 500, please. Makerspaces allow students to develop this concept coined by Carol Dweck in 2000. What is a growth mindset? And that is correct. So a fixed mindset is when you have it in your head that things are a certain way and they cannot be changed. When students engage in a makerspace, it really helps them open up their mind to possibilities. And when something doesn't go the way they thought it would, there's that learning from failure. It helps them to grow their growth mindset. Hodgepodge for 400, please. This maker designation is for people ready to have a makerspace, but they are looking for collaborators. This is an experimenter, and yes, you are correct. This is where I'm at. I am ready to go. I've got lots of ideas. I've got the space, but I'm really looking to collaborate. So I've got a great science lab teacher on my campus and a great robotics teacher after school, and we will all be collaborating together to get our makerspace going. Hodgepodge for 500, please. This maker designation is for people with nearly all of the personal qualities necessary to facilitate an outstanding makerspace. What is a maker? That is correct. And even though you've got all of those qualities and you're going to be super awesome with your makerspace, please know that you cannot do it alone. You still also need to collaborate with others, particularly your teachers on your campus, your administrators, your students, perhaps your students' families. We can't do this work alone, even if you're a maker. Let's finish this out. 2 more to go. Space and contents for 400, please. This Japanese art form makes for a low-cost, simple makerspace activity. What is origami? That is correct. So just need some paper, perhaps some books, some instruction sheets, very low cost, takes very minimal space, and students love origami. And let's close this out with space and contents for 500, please. Adults can increase student ownership in the makerspace by including this within the space. What is a display area for student work? What are displays of student products? We will accept that answer as correct. You really want to make this makerspace the students' makerspace. So include lots of pictures of them engaged in making. You can have final products on display. You can have their work that is still in process. Maybe they are working on something over a number of visits. It can be quite fun for students to see how a project is progressing over a series of time. So that concludes our evening of Jeopardy. Thank you for joining me this evening, and I look forward to playing again with you next time. Good night.